All right, so looking at number 4, this is kind of a tricky question, and then this is one of the new types of questions that you're going to see with the Common Core standards and the state tests that are going to be changing in the future, is that it's not just a simple multiple choice question. There's kind of a lot going on, so let's figure out what's happening. They give us a number line, and there's something graphed on the number line, and that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, they got that filled in, and then they have it shaded this way, and they're saying all the numbers that are bigger than 2. So what they're saying is they're kind of giving us the answer. They're saying that x is bigger than 2, right, which would be greater than 2. And then because they have the circle filled in, that means they're also including 2. So we're saying all the numbers, give me a list of all the numbers that are bigger or equal to 2. Well, so that would be basically 2 and up. So they're telling us what the answer is, and what they're not telling us is that, well, how did the question even start off? Like, did this... Because the answer is a greater than, does that mean it started off as a greater than? Well, we're not exactly sure, so let's just go through and solve it. And then what we're going to do is I'm just going to put a little box there, and we're going to come back and figure out what the symbol should be. So let's just solve it, right? First of all, we've got to distribute. So we've got negative 2x minus 6. And then we need to add 6 to both sides. So let's add 6 to both sides. And again, we're just going to fill in this box here. So negative 2x, we'll put the box. Negative 10 plus 6, right, which would give me a negative 4. And then I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. So divide by negative 2. And so I get x. Okay, so I got x and then I got positive 2. They're telling me that the answer should be greater than or equal to 2. Okay, so I got that part right? Like the number there matches the number here. And then now what I need to figure out is that, okay, well, was this always a greater than or equal to? Well, notice what happened here is that you divided by a negative. And what we know is that you have to switch the symbol, right, when you multiply or divide by a negative. So we would have to switch the symbol. So what that means is that if this was a greater than or equal to, that means that at this point it was actually a less than or equal to, because the less than or equal to switched would turn into a greater than or equal to. So kind of working backwards, that means that that was a less than or equal to at that point, because we didn't multiply or divide by a negative, and then the same thing for here as well. So what it means is the problem, it actually started off as a less than or equal to, and then when we divided, then it turned into a greater than or equal to. So kind of a different question, it was almost kind of like they gave us the answer, and we had to work backwards to figure out what the question was, kind of how the problem started. All right, so pause here and try number 4 on the right. All right, let's check your answer for number 4. So number 4, the answer they gave us was all the numbers that are smaller than negative 3, or all the numbers that are less than negative 3. What you would have seen is that, similar to the last one, you would have divided by a negative. So what that means is that less than wasn't always a less than or equal to. He started off as a greater than or equal to. All right, so that concludes number 4. Let's look at number 5.